a lot of times society dismisses women that, oh, they're just making excuses. But the toll that having a baby takes on you, like your brain is operating at like 50% capacity because your body is using all its energy to bake a human being.
That is Tolani Thomas-Allinson, founder of Halisi Consults, a business funding and consulting firm. She believes one of the biggest problems is how people underestimate the real cognitive and emotional toll motherhood takes on a woman.
The mental load alone is a killer, I'm not going to lie. I just had to jump right in because I felt like my brain was melting, literally.
She breaks down what the mental load actually feels like in real life and why so many women feel like they're losing themselves while trying to keep everything going.
Being a mother has really redefined what success looks like to me. My definition of success has changed. It's no more how much money we have in the bank and how much we made this year.
Today, she shares how motherhood reshaped her identity and ambition and what it looks like to redefine success without losing yourself. By the end of this conversation, you will learn how to name the shift, set boundaries around the mental load, and move forward with a clearer definition of success that actually fits your new season. I'm Ezinne Asinugo-Onyeka, and this is the Goodmother Series. Welcome to the Goodmother Series, the show where we explore how becoming a parent reshapes identity, body, and cultural belonging. I'm your host, Ezinne. And my path from working with celebrities in creative industry to becoming a mother has deeply changed how I understand power, purpose, and belonging. In each episode, we discuss intimate, embodied conversations grounded in lived experience, exploring what this transformation asks of women emotionally, physically, and culturally. Let's dive in. Let's just jump right in. And I want to start a tradition in the show where we kind of understand why the show is called The Good Mother. And the first test we're going to give you is, how do you pronounce my name? Ezinne. You should know this because you're a Niger babe. So if you get this wrong, I will be highly confused.
Ezinne.
Try again.
Ezinne.
Oh, okay, cool. I'll ask the audience to rate your Ezinne. Obviously, you know the meaning of Ezinne. Do you know what it means?
I know Inne means mother, but I'm not sure what Ezi means.
Ezi means good.
Ooh, good. Really? Oh my God.
So welcome to the Good Mother Series.
I love it.
Yay! You know when you're like destined for a name to make sense. All my life, it never made sense. Because I was like, why would my dad name me this?
He was seeing the future.
I see where he was going with it.
He's a futuristic guy.
So the show is really about telling the story, your story about a mom. And what kind of caught my attention with you is, I remember having my first child. And I literally needed a 2-year hiatus. But you, Tolani, said no. I am on this thing like Sonic. Like, I was so impressed. It was actually my husband that drew my attention to your page.
Aww.
And, well, I think he was trying to make me a bit jealous. Because I was like, how is she creating this content? How is she even just not exhausted? So I really did want to talk to you because a lot of women, when they have children, are like me for the first time, and they're just like, I beg, this is much.
It is. Honestly, it is. It's just the mental load alone, is a killer. I'm not gonna lie. But for me, I just had to jump right in because I felt like my brain was melting, literally. And the kind of person I am, I have to be stimulated intellectually, just, at the very base level. That's just how I am. So whether it's work, whether it's reading, whether it's just engaging in something like that engages my mind, I have to be doing something.
So sleep was not in the calculation. You just didn't want to sleep.
Honestly, I didn't want to sleep. To be fair, most of the year I was on bed rest. So in my pregnancy, I was on bed rest all through. From like week 20, I was like, oh yeah. And the doctor was like, bed rest, no standing up, no nothing, only getting up to get food and go to the bathroom or shower or something.
Wow.
Period. That's it. Yeah. So I had a condition called a short cervix. It's not really a condition per se, but it happens to a lot of women now. I know now. Then I had no idea about it. So when I was doing my 20-week scan, they checked, baby. That's the day I'm supposed to find out the gender. And I was also creating content that they're like, oh, this is the day we find out the gender. All for doctor to say, yeah, something looks a little bit odd. So
Oh
we're going to
gosh.
refer you to the gynae.
You know, when they start with referring, your heart is just going bukum, bukum.
And in this UK, with British people, they'll say, no, it's all right. Oh, not to be afraid. Oh, it's all right. Well, you can see the smile is not reaching their inside. It's just there.
It's
And
true.
I'm like, okay, what's going on? And they refer me to the guy, and the guy was like, oh, you have a short cervix, meaning that you're 20-week pregnant, but it's your body's starting to act like you're going into labor. And I was like,
Wow.
yeah, it was a lot. It was dramatic. It was a
Okay.
lot. I was like,
We're
why
gonna
is my
we're
life
gonna
a
get
soap
into
opera?
that. So why's my life a soap opera? We're going to tell the soap opera story from beginning. So I think my first thing is I want you to paint the picture. Who was Tolani before she became pregnant?
I like this one. So Tolani was a boss babe, still a boss
Okay.
babe to be fair.
What
But
does that mean? You can't say boss babe. Boss babe can be so many things. Today we're deep diving into you. What does boss babe Tolani look like on a day to day? What were you up to? What were you doing?
okay, so on a day to day, I was running my company. I have a consulting company called Halisi, and we work with startups to raise funding. When you hear about, oh, this company raised $1 million, etc. We are one of the people that try to orchestrate that for these companies. So that was what I was doing day to day. I have a team of about 10 people that I manage. I started my business in Nigeria before I moved to the UK. I moved to the UK for love. My husband lives here, so I had to move.
It
So
be
a
like
lot of people
that.
always say, "Oh, you jackpot." I'm like, no, I had to move for love. So
Jackma, just embrace it. Embrace
I'm
the
still
Jackma
embracing it because
embrace.
the UK is a lot. So I started my business about 8 years ago now, and that was what I was all about. So I was all about my business and making these deals. I was living a very city girl, well, not city girl in like city girl's definition, but like babe in the city, getting deals done, boss babe type of energy. And at the same time, I actually create content a lot as well, like previously. More like business content, like how to grow your business, how to get more sales, things like that. And on a personal no, I was kind of person that I'll wake up at 6 a.m. I'm in the gym. Gym not every day, but at least 3 days a week.
You see, I'm clapping for you here. The 6 a.m. gymmers, well done. Make us feel like bad people.
Oh my god, now I can't even wake up at 6 a.m. Bro, if I wake up at 6 a.m., I'm like, wow, what's going on? Honestly, back then I was just going for it. And I had a very active social, I was never at home. I was always outside. I was an outside baby. I was always outside, going out, meeting people, going for networking events, going out with my friends, dinner parties, everything. And when I got pregnant, everything just slowed down. Like that sound like screech. That's what happened.
Oh gosh. Okay, so and where would you say you were in your life in terms of your trajectory? Was it something that you were like, okay, cool, I've fallen in love with this guy, this is the plan? Or were you planning to like, okay, I'm going to work for a few more years because I've got this trajectory, I've got this business that I'm trying to do, or this company I'm supposed to secure funding for, and you were on this trajectory? Was that the picture for you? Or were you sure like, okay, cool, we're doing this, I'm going to have a kid?
Yeah, so I always knew we were going to have a kid at some point. But I wasn't entirely sure when. Honestly, I kept postponing it. I was like, oh, maybe in a year. And then a year became 2 years, and I kept giving myself like milestones, like, okay, I want to have this amount of money in the bank. And if I don't have this amount of money, I'm not trying to have a baby. And, wishes are just wishes, right? You make your wishes, and God makes his plans. I got pregnant at some point, so and I just had to face my reality.
Facts. Okay. And I guess what mattered, because now that you have a child, there's new things, new priorities, new importance to you. But then what was important to you?
What was important to me was just living my best life, just being the best version of myself, just going for it, and just just being that babe. And that was what was most important to me. Obviously, my relationships were important to me, like my family, my husband, my parents, my siblings, his parents and siblings as well, my friends as well. Those were very important things to me. But once you have a baby, everything just kind of rearranges itself. Like,
Everybody just shifts down.
do you understand? Everybody finds their level.
Just quickly, just okay,
Honestly,
cool. No,
it's an interesting experience. I'm not gonna lie, because even my mom thought I would never be maternal. Yeah, because
really,
she always says, "Oh, you're like a man." I'm always like going for it. I'm very much like, whatever a man can do, I can do it times 10. Who are they? How dare them? But like, so, and because of that attitude and that lifestyle, I really, really like live that lifestyle. Like, okay, I'm a boss. Um, Everybody always thought like, oh, like I don't really have those maternal instincts, but once they put that baby in your arms, it just kicks in. You can't help it. I don't say you just know what to do immediately, but it just comes to you.
it comes. And you know what? It's special because before the baby comes, you'll be shocked about this our chat because I want to know everything. So we're gonna start a little bit now. The moment you were suspicious that you were pregnant, what was that? What was that moment?
They're going to judge me.
I will judge you. Let's be judging each other. Listen, if we can't judge each other, who else will judge us?
Oh my God. When I knew I was pregnant, I knew something was up with me, because everything my husband was doing was annoying me. If you should
Oh,
sneeze,
wow.
how dare you sneeze in this house? If you should laugh, what is funny? Everything
Oh,
was I was
gosh.
just I was so upset for no reason. Like, not like for no reason, let's be honest.
Yes, let's be honest. Because why can't the man sneeze?
I was
Like,
like, this something is up with me. But you wouldn't want to accept it, like, oh, maybe I'm a little bit off. I didn't want to accept that, oh, something was off, but I knew something was off, but I couldn't place it. And you just click like, oh shit, I haven't seen my monthly. And then I already had those like strips in the house. So I did a test, and I was like, the test was not even testing. I don't even understand. Was like, the test didn't give me a result. It was kind of like in between. And I was like, why does my own story have to be so dramatic? Why can't the test just give me a good result? Let me just move on with my life. So I had to go and see my GP. I had to go to the hospital. They had to do like a real blood test. And they're like, oh, yeah, you're pregnant. I was like,
oh, so that's how you confirmed. You actually went to do a blood test.
yes, I had to.
Oh, wow. How did that feel for you hearing you're pregnant?
They don't even actually properly say it. They're going to send you some test results. And then I had to Google what the test result meant. And I'm like, they just wrote one thing, hemoglobin, something very high. And I'm like, what does this mean? And then my GP now called me the next day after I'd done all my Googles. So now it's not officially. I'm like, oh, congratulations, Tolani, you're pregnant. La, la, la.
Oh,
I was like, cute, but you could have
told
called
me.
immediately.
But how let's go back to your feeling because I think sometimes we kind of brush past our emotions and we don't fully like check into it. I want you to go back to that moment. Go back to when you did your Google search because effectively that's when you found out.
Yeah.
Go back to that moment and think what did it make me feel like?
It made me feel like, oh my God, here we go. Like, okay, what's gonna happen? And I mentally just started planning out, like, okay, so what's gonna happen next? How am I going to handle this? Like, obviously, first things first, called my husband and I said, yeah, congratulations, you're a man.
Now you're a man. You're now a papa to
Yay,
somebody.
father! Congratulations, you're a father now. So, obviously told my husband, told my mom.
Your husband was the first
My
person you
husband was the first
told.
person I told, yeah.
Oh, sweet.
Even my mom, she found out like that. She was like, why did you tell me first? I'm like, I mean, we're besties, but still. So I told my husband first, and obviously he said, saying things like, "Oh, you need to slow down with work. You need to, take it easy, just rest. You don't have to do too much." All the nice things, and I was like, okay, maybe I could slow down a bit, but I didn't. I'm not gonna lie. Until like that week 20, when they told me, yeah, you have to slow down. You had to, be on bed rest, and they gave me all these meds. Oh my god, I didn't want to remember. It was a lot, honestly.
Wow. Okay, so that's covered us with how you found out
Mm.
and also who you told first. But now I kind of want to dive into just a little bit more about just getting your identity after becoming a mother. Did you feel like you said you over researched and you still felt shocked? What was the biggest gap between what women hear about motherhood and what actually it does to you?
There's actually no way to really understand what motherhood is until you actually really experience it. You have to go through it to really grasp what it means. Whenever people are explaining why, oh, I don't have time, or I'm just tired, or my brain can't process this right now, a lot of times, society dismisses women that, oh, they're just making excuses. But the toll that having a baby takes on you, first of all, it's like your brain is divided into two. Like your brain is operating at like 50% capacity because your body is using all its energy, everything available to it to bake a human being inside you, literally for 9 months, and it's happening non-stop every day. For it's not even 9 months, it's 40 weeks, actually 10 months. And it's happening non-stop every day. And there's nothing you can do about it, but you just have to keep on living your life. So your brain is operating at 50% capacity. When you now have the baby comes and your baby's in your arms, and then you have to now think about keeping this human alive, because after the third trimester there's a fourth trimester, which is the first 3 months that the baby is here, which is essentially just taking care of the baby and making sure that the baby survives those 3 months and baby's fine.
Did you know about the fourth trimester before you had baby or after you had given birth and you were like, what's this?
I found out on TikTok.
Oh, listen, TikTok be out here educating all of us.
Honestly, that's my university. Like,
My
honestly,
dear, you always wonder, why did we go to uni? Why?
I can just search on
You go to
TikTok and everything will
university.
come up. So, like,
Yeah.
I saw it being called like the fourth trimester for the first time on TikTok, and I experienced it because those first 3 months are just like, what every day is that what is going on? What is going on? You're changing diapers, you're, feeding the baby, breastfeeding the baby, trying different things that you've never tried before. And I had a lot of, I felt like I was very experienced and very ready to have a baby. You're actually honestly never 100% prepared. I read every thread online, read every article, I was reading articles that professors of medicine were writing. I read everything. I wanted to be so ready. But
You could never be.
you can never really be, because every pregnancy is different, every woman is different, every baby is different. So you don't know what mix you would have. We can only pray for the best. We can only pray to have a healthy baby. The healthy baby is the most important thing to
But
me.
the question is, what is the biggest about you? I want you to know that this is the first time I want you to focus on yourself. I think a lot of mothers mother,
Yeah.
which is they just carry everybody along. And honestly, the purpose of this series is to really focus on you, Tolani. And I want you to think about, what did you hear about motherhood for yourself versus what it actually did to you personally?
So what I heard about motherhood was, obviously you have to sacrifice your life, your time. Everything's about the baby for the next, I don't know, maybe 18 years. But for me personally, I would say that it really softened me. Like it made me like softer, and it made me have more grace for people. As you can imagine, as a boss, zero patience. I'm never patient. Like I want things done right away, right now. But now I have more grace. Like I'm seeing things through different lens. Like, oh, you don't know what this person is going through. Obviously, I had empathy before, but now it's more. I don't know. It's more pronounced. It's just more, and I think that it's made me a more. I don't want to say a better person because I don't. I feel like that's cliche, but it's made me a softer woman. Like I'm just more understanding, and I'm less reactive and less prone to flaring up and getting upset about every little thing. I'm more. I wouldn't say more relaxed, but I'm basking in my femininity more now than ever. I read somewhere that they said, oh, it's when you have a boy, the boy takes away all your masculine energy and makes you more feminine. But
I actually agree with that one for sure. I don't know where you read that, but I'm a living testimony too. Boys do something to the mothers, my
they
God.
honestly do. So for me, like me personally, it's really changed me because now my priorities have changed. Obviously, I'm still ambitious. I still want money, but now I'm thinking about my baby, the things we want to do together, and I'm gonna admit that I'm gonna be a bit bossy with how he's going to live his life. Like, okay, I know what he's doing. At 1, he must learn swimming. At 2, he must start learning football because I'm raising a young Mbappe.
This is every mother's dream. Listen, every mother is like, please, you better kick it. But
You better kick
I
him after
remember
all
when
that kicking that you
Ethan,
kicked me in my belly. You better do it
do you
professionally.
understand? I remember when Ethan didn't kick balls, he would pick them up and dunk them. And my
Is that
husband was getting
basketball? Like, it's still
so.
something.
Do you understand? I said, listen, let's lean to the basketball. But as soon as he kicked his first ball, you should have seen the joy in my whole life. I said, oh my God, we're getting there, we're getting
We're
there. Meanwhile, my son hasn't even turned
a
3.
young sucker.
Honestly. Oh gosh, that's so funny. Okay, you're a very ambitious person. All the things you've tackled, like even from a corporate standpoint, being able to, convince people and raise money for people to run their businesses and establishments. What did ambition feel like in your body after baby? What does ambition now look like?
I think I would say it has more meaning for me. A lot of the work I do, involves like helping people raise money to actualize their dreams. So imagine I'm putting all that energy into one person. And this one person, I mean, not to put my child on the spot, but this child is literally my legacy. And how can I help him be the best version of himself? How can I help him, give him head start in a way that he's not fumbling through life, that he just, from day one, everything is mapped out, but at his pace and according to his wishes as well. But to be the best anything he wants to be. So if he wants to be a footballer, if he wants to be a poet, if he wants to be an actor, yes. If he wants to be anything, if he wants to be a plumber, I don't care. You can do that, but you have to be the best in the world. So how do I help him do that? So that's where my ambition has shifted, I would say. So it's less about me and me just getting all the things and being recognized for being you doing so well in my business. Um and handling adulthood as well. Quite okay. I wouldn't say great, but what gets in there? So how can I help my little human
Adulting
also,
is adulting.
how
That's
can
the
I help him
saying.
achieve his goals
Yeah.
as well? And that's what I'm thinking about.
Do you feel like that change in ambition or that redirection? I wouldn't call it a change. I think you've just redirected your ambition from yourself to your son. Do you feel that there's an element of you have to do that because you have had a child? It's a duty of care to redirect your ambition because there's some women out there that are like, no, I want to still remain as ambitious as I am so that my son can see me being as ambitious and go for their own ambition. Do you feel like you're being selfless by not putting yourself up again as you used to and just kind of redirecting your energy and your attention into your son now?
I would say it's a bit of both. Like On some days it's 50-50, or some days it's 70-30. Um, more me, more my son, either way. So I would say it's a bit of both, because as much as I want to support his ambition, my ambition is still exists and is still there. So I'm hoping and praying, like you said, that him seeing me achieving all these things and going for my dreams would also motivate him to do, something similar as well. At the same time, I think being a mother has really redefined what success looks like to me. So my definition of success has changed. It's no more, how much money we have in the bank and how much we made this year. It's more, okay, we have money in the bank, great. It's not everything now. It's more, how am I helping my family achieve their own individual ambitions and goals as well. So I would say that success has been redefined. Like, my definition of success has been redefined, and that's a major thing.
Yeah. Okay, that's beautiful to even hear and also learn as well, for me to hear that.
Before we continue, a quick ask. If this episode resonates with you, please like, follow, and subscribe to the Goodmother Series on YouTube or your favorite podcast app. It helps these stories reach the people who need them, and it allows this work to keep growing with care and intention. And if someone came to mind while listening, consider sharing this episode with them. Now, back to the conversation.
Let's talk about a productive day. A productive day for Tolani may look like, yeah, we've scored this contract for this client. Now, what does a successful productive day look like?
A productive day is, we both have had our baths and we have both eaten. And we're wearing clean clothes. And nobody's crying.
Honestly, it's those little wins. Like, you're just like, oh my God, you ate the food, you ate the veg. Yay.
The business will be okay. Look, I need to get myself first. The clients, they will be okay, don't worry. Like, everything will run. The world will not stop, or the world will not burn down. Make sure you are okay, honestly. First. Please.
100%. And it just, goes to show about, like, all the things we could plan and put together, like, literally goes out of the window. Okay, I want to ask, what's the most ridiculous example that shows how your planning has gone out of the window? Like, what had you laid out for one time and literally didn't go to plan?
I can give you an example, because, social media is bad in so many ways, because social media told me that, when you have a baby, you have to breastfeed. Fine. If your baby chooses that, great. And if your body can do that, because breastfeeding on its own is it's a different work. Yeah, you're really like, you're an engine producing food per second every day. So social media advised me, after I've done all my research, that I need to pump and I need to freeze. I need to have like 1 month of frozen breast milk in the freezer. My darling, I've done that. I pumped. It was so strenuous and stressful. Pumping, packing it, writing the date so that, okay, it's not past expiration. I still at the same time breastfeeding while you're saving other milk for the future. We've warmed the milk for the boy. The boy has refused to take it. I've pumped over 1 month worth of milk. Like, I pumped for like 3 months straight. And then I'll just store in the fridge, store in the freezer. Everything is inside one big sack in my freezer. Ask me why this boy, he has no desire to want to even see it. You put the bottle near him, he'll push it away. So you can do all your plans. Whatever the baby wants, the baby will do.
Wow, not 3 months of wasted breast milk.
I don't want to remember, because breastfeeding itself, like breast milk, like it takes up so much of your energy. I'll be eating at 2 a.m., pumping, doing it. Oh, girl, it was too much. It was too much. Nah, frozen milk. My husband was supposed to say I should donate it. I just looked at him like, if you don't get out of my face.
Do you know what I did? Because I started with trying to do that pumping and storing thing, and I did the same, but I only did about 2 weeks worth. I clapped for you for 3 months. You did try. I did 2 weeks worth, and when Ethan didn't have it, I used it to bathe him.
Yeah, I started doing that when he had like some skin reaction thing. And it's amazing. Breast milk is amazing.
Helped,
Jesus.
yeah, it helped a lot, and that's kind of why I was like, if I ever do it again, I will store it for showering sake, not for drinking because I don't think they would like it.
It's honestly, I made all that plan, and it's a little bit painful, but it's good for me because why did I assume that my baby wants recycled milk?
To be honest, because as boss babe mom, are you drinking recycled milk? How do you expect your son to be drinking recycled milk? How dare you?
How dare me, for real? Because I'm watching all these TikToks and I'm realizing that okay, those are like one in like that's 1 in 1,000 babies that is doing that thing. So what's the guarantee that my baby would react the same way? Honestly, the this is what we're talking about, the mental load, everything you're thinking about this and that and this, and then not everything goes according to plan. But do you break down and cry? No, you
So what do
just
you do?
you keep calm and you keep breastfeeding him fresh.
You keep calm and bring out your boob.
You bring
Just say,
it,
"Do you know what?
you whip it out.
Whip it out." At this point, what else can we do? We can't come and cry. Eh.
Honestly. But with the feeding, like feeding of babies, always a very interesting thing. Always very interesting
Mm.
because
I wanted to ask about that because I had a tough time with it. How was that breastfeeding phase for you?
what's in the face?
Oh,
And I'm just praying that it's not one of those babies that wants to, take it up to 1 year because I'll just pass out.
how old is your baby
My
now?
baby is 7 months now.
7 months. Okay. Do
And
you have a stop time, or are you like, I beg, I want to stop when you stop, but please stop before one?
I've been trying to win him, and again, all the things I'm seeing online, nothing is ever actually 100% true for you the way it's true for whoever created that content. That's just their reality. It's not your reality. So frozen milk did not work. In fact, my baby rejected the bottle. He doesn't even want to see the bottle. He doesn't want to see baby milk. He doesn't want it. Zero. Now I'm at the point where okay, he has to start eating semi-solids. I bought everything, the oats, Kenda meal, Aptamil oats, banana flavor, everything. I bought it. I bought machine, pure, doing everything. I tried everything. I was so exhausted. I was just like, one day, you know what? Let me try pap. I gave this boy pap. He was screaming for more. I
Yes,
was like, what?
because Nigerian children are Nigerian. Like, listen, I am with you with that 1,000% because they're not built, they're not built for Ella. They're not. Like, they're not built for it.
Oh my God.
They're not. They're not built for it. Yes, and he enjoyed that pap. Good.
And I kept increasing, like, because I was like, oh, you only eat a little amount. Because I would literally put like the tiniest amount of the oats. He will have like 3 spoons and get upset, like, no, he doesn't want this, he wants breast. And I was like, oh, he only likes breast. He doesn't like, semi-solids. What would I do? I was like, let me just try pap. I just tried it one day. This guy finished it. I made more, finished it. I was like, Jesus,
You found it.
a real African man.
And what does that feel like when you actually find what your baby likes? Because what?
I
That
made
must be
videos, I took
exciting.
pictures, I kept sending it to everybody. I even posted it on my story, on my Instagram story. And everybody was
Oh
like,
my
yeah, that's how
God.
babies are. I was in shock because he never finishes like a semi-solid. So it's great now that okay, I know that the options are like the options are there, but he probably now that I'm thinking about it, he doesn't really like processed food as a baby. He's more of like, okay, the food has to be really, really natural. I just said, let me try pap out, and he took it perfectly. He was even crying for more at a point, and I was like, okay, what is going on? And it's not even, some people say, okay, put the pap, add milk, add this. He wanted it plain, like simple plain. The weight is like pure, just plain. No need for other milk, all that. Oh, add this, make it more nutritious. The pap itself is already nutritious, so it's fine. So I gave it to him, and I was so shocked because I spent so much time researching all the purees. You need to do the puree to give him iron supplements, to give him. He didn't take any of it. So like Kendam, after everything, he didn't take any of it. He said pap all the way. I posted it on my story, and I was just like, oh, it was just one of those throwaway posts, like, can you believe this baby after I spent this much? And he's only pap he wants. In fact, he's crying for more pap. And he only does that with breast milk. So that's the only other thing, aside breast milk, that he will be like, more, more, more. Everything, you just eat it a bit, I just like, whatever.
Stop. It's the Niger in them. They can't help it. They can't. Do you know what?
Honestly,
And I
everybody kept
appreciate
saying,
it for us.
the son of the soil. I was like, can't it be posh a little bit?
I beg. Who posh air, please? Do you know what? It's so interesting how, like, you know, I was born in Nigeria, so I ended up I was eating Nigerian food as a child, and I'm fine. And then all of a sudden, we're here in the UK, and then it's almost like all our back home food is almost like, hey, it's too much. It's too much. I said, oh my God, like this is insane. But I think again, it's kind of like none of our African food is made easy to go.
Yeah.
And I think that is a unique standpoint. Like if anyone could make like African food that's easy to go for babies, please.
Yeah. I think some people are trying to do it, but
it's not working. Pap
it's not working.
Warm.
Yeah. It's still not. We don't have, our food needs to be loved before we can love it. So do you get? So it's a deep. Bit, because like with the food here for children, you just put water, stir the thing, is ready, you put in their mouths, good to go. And some children are happy to take it, but
not
my man right here,
nope.
He said no.
No, man.
I have to get up and turn pap.
Okay, so we're going to quickly move on to a section called Mum Hotline. This is where some mothers write into us, where we read out some stuff and weigh in and see what we think. Well, I want to see what you think. Okay, you ready?
Yes, I'm ready.
Okay. Any outing becomes my responsibility. This is what Mum says. Nappies, wipes, snacks, spare clothes, pram, time feedings, backup plan. He says, just tell me what to do. But that still makes me the manager. I'm starting to resent him. Then I feel guilty because he is trying. What do you think?
The thing is, it's really hard to balance that mental load because as the mother, you probably most likely 99% of the time spend more time with your baby than father would. So the things that will come naturally to you that you think about, like, okay, I need to we're going out, so 3 diapers need to be in the bag. We need to have a changing mat. We need to have this and that. It comes naturally to you. The guy just wants to go. You know, the other day I was talking to my husband. He was like, oh, we should go out with the baby and take him to a museum to stimulate his artistic. And I was looking at him like, okay, I've heard. He literally just got ready, you know, called a cab, stood at the door, wore his jacket. I'm ready. I had to like, okay, extra clothes, extra inner, extra this. What if he throws up? What if he... Thinking of everything. I'm like, okay, I have to time his feeding so that when I feed him now and then we go out, he won't cry for food when we get... The thing is that it's just that way at the very early phase. With time, when your baby becomes less dependent on just the mother, and you transition into you know, then they can have like daddy and me dates, and they can go on and do like boy things. It kind of balances out eventually. So it's just, I think it's just for a short while. Then also, I try to turn off my brain in some instances with my husband. So I focus on, okay, yes, I'm responsible for myself and, you know, whatever emergency things we need to do for the baby, like to pack his bags, to go out and all of that. So when it comes to, okay, we're going out, what should we do? I just turn off my brain. You do that. So you want us to go out somewhere. Okay, you think about it then. Oh, he came up with museum. Okay, one museum. Okay, one near the house. Oh, okay, lovely. Okay, so how do we get there? Okay, we need to go at this time. And then he starts making all the plans by himself. So I leave all of that to him. Let him do like the adult stuff. Let me do the baby stuff. It's just, and it's unbalanced for now, but it will readjust eventually if you're married to a good partner.
And that is the key because, you know, the lady said, my partner thinks leaving the house is a 2-step process. For me, it's a military operation.
It is.
It is.
It is.
It really is a military operation, you know, and it's gone to the point. I think some women may may not be able to even come out of that, because sometimes, you know, the men may get accustomed to you doing the military operation all the time. And as you've said, the best thing is sometimes just play dumb. Just like, you want to do this? I would love to do it to you, planets, and we can do it. If you, we can stay at home, you know. So I think that's a great take on it as well. Okay, another one. I built my career on being reliable. Now I'm a mom, and people still expect the old pace. Clients, colleagues keep booking calls at crazy times. I'm trying to breastfeed, pump, or calm a baby while sounding professional. I'm scared to say no because my reputation is my livelihood, but I am also exhausted and feel like I am failing at everything.
Yeah, that sounds like
You problem too?
Yeah, I have that problem. Trust me. It's a boundary and communication thing. So obviously work happens between 9 to 5. So it has to be that 9 to 5. You take your 1 hour break in between. You have some breaks like from time to time that you can, feed baby, pick up baby, things like that. But you just have to find a way to manage it. And then understand your baby's routine. I mean, your baby's routine is changing every month. That's another headache on its own. So understand your baby's routine. Like, okay, this is when he naps and this is when he feeds. So when something is going to be in between, when you'll be fussy or you have an emergency, like, oh, you need to change the diaper, there's a diaper explosion, just tell them, communicate. Like, look, I'm not skimming off work. This is the situation. I've been on client calls where I'll just be like, excuse me, my baby is fussy. I'll turn on the camera and I'll take care of my child. My child comes before all this. Like, your business is your business. If you make money in your business, how much will you give me? So I make sure that my baby is number one. Like, no offense to anybody. So I've been on client calls where they're talking about serious money, and I'm like, oh, sorry, I'm going to turn off my camera now. And mute myself. My baby is fussy, and just do that, and then calm him down, which always involves breastfeeding. So I just manage it. I literally come on camera and I just like zoom myself in like forward, but I'm actually breastfeeding and trying to calm him down till I finish that meeting. So I just try to get it done. You just have to find the balance. Some days your baby, there was a period that, oh, my baby wasn't having, especially when I just started work, he wasn't having it at all. Like, he would just start crying. Like, he's been calm the whole day. When I now have the meeting, that's time to cry. He just has to cry and he's just upset. And I'm just like, what should I do? Like, I've been on a call with a massive investor and he was just screaming throughout. And, I was very lucky that I was a woman. Just kept smiling, like, it's okay.
Do
I
you
turned off
feel
my
like you would have
camera.
felt different if it was a man?
Something? I've been on calls with men, especially if he's a father, he will get it.
Okay.
But so, I mean, they understand to an extent. Like, you just have to, okay, I'm available, I'm listening to you, I'm paying attention, but this little thing, I just need a minute to sort it out. And most times they understand. I mean, they say they understand. Maybe they go behind and gossip about me or go.
Facts.
That's your business.
They'd be
My
like,
baby is okay.
yeah, she's not serious. She's not serious. The baby's always crying.
Like, you get. So it can never be that. People would make room if you communicate properly. Like, even sometimes when I get on a call and my baby is beside me, one thing about my baby is if we're sitting like side by side, now he's on my back, so you wouldn't really hear him because he's very calm when he's on the back. One trick that I did is I stopped backing him as much. Before any small thing, I just put him on my back. I've cut it down completely to like only when I need to back him, like situations like this, like, okay, I need him to be quiet for me to get something done. So he values the backing because it's rare. Like, it's like once a week now. Before, I used to back him every day. Now it's once a week. So when I put him on my backing, he's enjoying it. He's savoring the backing and enjoying it. So he doesn't make a fuss.
Off topic.
But
who taught you how to back baby?
You will learn, no. If you like, don't learn.
Your mom didn't listen, not like my mom taught me anyway. Like, no. But like, who taught you? Nobody taught you.
I'm very experienced.
Okay.
I am the first of 6 children.
Fair.
And I've been backing baby since I was 9 years old. So.
Fair enough. You have more experience than anybody
As an
else.
African firstborn daughter,
Yeah.
you will. I learned a lot about like. Honestly, it's not the same, but I got the experience before I got the experience. So I've been a babysitter all my life. So that's why I think it's one of the reasons why I kept pushing forward. Like, okay, when we'll have a baby, I wanted to be 100% ready because I had an idea of what it takes. And especially because I grew up in Nigeria and I saw the way, my mom has what, there's six of us. And I saw how it was whenever she has a new baby, it's a village, literally. Like two aunties will show up, two grandmas will show up, one cousin will show up, and then she'll have, a nanny, she'll have, help in the house. And she'll be like, oh, she's stressed. But I'm like, girl, there are five people here.
If only in
But
the
that is
UK we
not
had
my
that.
reality.
If we had that in the UK, somebody please
Imagine.
tell me where the village is. Our village is between the council tax and paying rent. You know?
Like they didn't even want to take a break. And I'm like, I was telling my husband the other day, like, can you just understand that I just had a baby? Can you just say, oh, let's just reduce? No,
Oh gosh.
they are going harder.
Oh my goodness. Okay, we've got another one for you. I finally have my baby, but my mind keeps prepping for disaster.
Oh my God.
I had a miscarriage before, and now I check breathing constantly. I panic over every symptom. I can't sleep even when the baby sleeps. Everyone says I should be grateful, but I feel trapped in anxiety and I'm scared to admit it.
I understand 100%. Because I experienced the same thing. So I had a pregnancy loss before I had my son, and my son is 7 months now. I still checked his breathing this morning because your it's just there at the back of your mind. Everything is fine. I'm aware that everything is fine now. When I first had my baby, first night in the hospital, I slept like 30 minutes. I kept checking, checking, like, oh, is the baby okay? Is the baby okay? Is the baby okay? You just had to remind yourself that, okay, I don't know if you're religious, but whatever you believe in, God saw you through to this moment and He will not forsake you. Obviously, take all the precautions and pray, follow your instincts. People say different things, but listen to your mind. As a mother, your mother instinct will kick in and will do what's best for your baby. And I pray that this person that sent the woman that sent this in, she finds peace. Like over you will find peace over time. Before I couldn't sleep. Oh my God. I'll be checking, looking in the cot, looking in the cradle, stretching my neck. It's a lot, honestly.
Are you comfortable to share about your pregnancy loss?
Oh yes, please.
Yeah, like tell us a bit about that. Like what happened? How did you find out what was going on in that point in your life?
So when I had a miscarriage, first of all, for some time I didn't again, for some reason I just always ignore when I miss my period, or I don't pay attention to it that much. But then my flow app reminded me, like, oh, you are that one. My flow app reminded me. I remember very clearly because I have the flow app that tracks my period. It's like, oh, you are 7 days late, and I'm like, never ever. My period's like clockwork. So then I bought a pregnancy strip. I peed on a stick and it didn't work again. But like after some weeks, like I think by the time I missed my second period, I was like, okay, yes, definitely pregnant. Then I shared with my husband, like, oh, I'm missing like 2 periods now. And then he's like, oh, okay, cool. But in that period, I was very active. I was really working. I was doing so much work that period, and I was burning out because I was just overworking myself, and it didn't even come to my mind that I needed to slow down or anything. Then after some time, I think about like 12 weeks in, I started spotting, and I went to see the GP. The GP I had at that time was terrible. Advice was they were basically prepping me for, like, oh yeah, it happens. They were prepping me for disaster. Like I didn't get the help that I needed. Do you understand? And it just kept going on and on like that. So I kept spotting, and I kept disturbing GP. Then GP was like, go to emergency room, whatever. And I'm like, okay, cool. Where's the emergency room? Even at the emergency room, when you get there to the front of the nurse, the intake nurse, and they're speaking to you and you're telling them what's going on. And obviously I was in a very emotional state. Every single time I went to the emergency room and I sit in front of the nurse, I'll just start crying. Because I was like, okay, what's going on? I'd already like celebrated that I was pregnant. I already had the joy. I'd already done my first appointment, my first pregnancy appointment for antenatal. But I was still spotting, and a lot of people were saying, "Oh, it's fine." Some people spot all the way, and they still have their baby, and the baby, comes out healthy. But then sometimes the spotting would be heavy, like period heavy, and some days, it would just be like very light. But I was spotting every day for about 5 weeks.
Wow.
Non-stop. And every time I would go to the emergency, they would, be listening. And once they realize like, oh, it's pregnancy and she's spotting, they kind of you could just see on their face that their face just changes, like, whatever. It's not like they weren't helpful. And at that point in time, I was very displeased with the NHS. Honestly, looking back, it took a Nigerian nurse that was able to start speaking to me in Yoruba to tell me what to do just to get the results I wanted. Because I was like, oh, I want a doctor to check. They'll be like, oh, there's no need. If you are spotting and you don't fill up 2 pads, don't come. I swear. I was like, why would I want to fill up 2 pads into your long? Like, why would I wait for that scenario? They really weren't helpful. Anyway, it kept happening. Some days I'll get to the emergency room, I'll get lucky and see a doctor, and doctor will tell me, okay, baby looks okay, baby's fine. And the Nigerian nurse that I mentioned, just told me all this. She just told me in Yoruba, like, if you don't say all these things, they wouldn't, help you. So she encouraged me to exaggerate my symptoms, even though like I wasn't feeling like pain or anything. She told me exaggerate so that, you can get some tests done. That's what I had to do. So I exaggerated. They got me a scan. Scan said that, everything looks okay. That was, I think, at like 14 weeks thereabout. And then next thing I knew, it just like progressively got worse over time. So one day I was, I was at an event, I think, and I was just heading home. I wasn't doing anything strenuous. I just went out for the day and I was just coming back home. Nothing extraordinary. And I was just taking in the sights and just standing in the middle of the road. I just felt like a gush of fluid just
Wow.
just in between my legs. And I was very lucky that I was with my cousin who, she was very caring and helpful. So I wasn't alone. And, I tried to get ambulance. They didn't understand. There was just some disconnect. I don't really understand what happened that period. So they didn't really understand the urgency. Eventually, I just had to call a black cab, got myself to, the nearest hospital, which I was very lucky was St. Thomas, in central London. And, they were quite good. And they were basically like, everybody was dancing around the issue. Like, oh, just go home and rest. We don't think there's anything now. But I'm like, yeah, I just released a lot of blood and this looks like this is it. Nobody wanted to be the one to tell me that, oh, this is what has happened. So the way it's like, you go home and rest. And sometimes it happens that way. At that point, when I released that amount of like gushing blood, I was like crying. I was upset. Everybody was trying to calm me down. My husband rushed down for where he was to come and get me. And we went back home and rested. And I went back to my local hospital. And then they did, a scan again. And they were like, oh, we're sorry, but the baby isn't there anymore. There's no heartbeat. And honestly, it was devastating. I cried. And then eventually they had to take care of me and make sure everything was like properly out. Even at that point in time, they were still trying to save cost, NHS. They were like, oh, just take the pill or just take the injection. But there was this Nigerian nurse that was there again. Same woman. She came and just told me, like, she just told me in Yoruba, like, don't answer them. Tell them to clean everything up, like, surgically. Don't let them give you anything that it's not a good experience. You won't, like, it will just be, it will excavate what you're feeling now. And she just told me Yoruba and just left. Even to get a bed, bruh, I had to first fake like I was fainting.
Wow.
It was a lot. I mean, but we bless God. I went through that. It was devastating for me. Like, I had to, I mean, I didn't really share with a lot of people, like, at work or anything, but, like, my friends knew, my family knew, obviously. And it was just, like, a really difficult period. First thing I did was we moved from that area. I changed NHS trust to a trust where,
100%.
a trust where I know that there are rich people in the environment. So this is a well-off area.
I'm on that clock hits.
Girl, honestly, I was like, I don't want to experience this again. And the difference was clear once I moved, like, trust. Like, people have issues with their NHS, but like their local NHS trust, but it's not like the entire NHS. It's like that particular location.
Yeah.
So I just told myself, Loki, like, okay, we're gonna move from this area and find a better place to stay. And I did that, and I got the help that I needed, because when I was pregnant with my son, when I got pregnant again, this particular NHS, in fact, they were taking it more serious than me. They were so, I was like, let me get below. Like, they were taking it so serious, like, any small thing, no, you know what, come to the hospital, come and rest. Just come. I was like, ah. So yeah, the difference was very clear. And, to God be glory, we have a baby now, and we thank God for that.
I love that.
One thing I would say is that, which is why I'm speaking in this detail, is that when I did have my miscarriage and I was, started sharing with my family and friends, a lot of people now came back and said, oh, it happened to me too. And I'm like, it happened to you, and I'm just hearing about it for the first time. And I know you quite well. So I feel like more women need to talk about it, because it happens more often than not. Like that, okay, you could lose a pregnancy. And I'm hoping that sharing this, would encourage someone that's going through it, that your baby will come. God will give you the baby that you're looking for. Like, miscarriages happen. It is devastating. Take your time, process it. And just, if you feel sad, feel sad. If you feel angry. Let the emotion go through you, and, just empty yourself of whatever emotion you're feeling. Go through it, and you come out on the other side, and you come out with, a miracle, with a testimony.
No, that's
by God's grace.
Thank you so much for sharing. And I think it would definitely help. I think the purpose of this program as well is to really put voice to real things and real situations that happen in this pregnancy that, like, nobody shares. And I don't know if it's because we're so used to just moving on without, like, really looking at what we've actually been through and talking through it. So I'm really grateful that you are able to share here. Now, I know this is another big whammy, but you also went through a short cervix, girl.
Now that I got to a better NHS trust and there was more support,
yes,
they were able to pinpoint what went wrong. So I think it was a situation of, I have a short cervix, and I think it's something that happens to women that kind of like petite, because whenever I speak to someone that experienced it, they're usually like, they're quite petite, like they're tiny, not like tiny, but like they're just small. You have small hips or whatever.
How tall are you? What's your height?
I don't even know. Maybe like 5'4".
Then imagine, I'm smaller than you. Imagine.
No, maybe you'll have like hips.
Which hip? Which hip? My God, you don't see me complaining on social media. I don't even have nyash anymore. Like, everything is gone.
That video. Oh my days.
No hip, no nyash, no nothing. Like, it's gone at this point. But no, I'm 5'2". I'm really small.
You're Kim Kardashian small. Oh.
I'm very small. You see, and the problem is when people see me, they're like, "Isn't it? You're so tiny."
Yeah, I'm actually very surprised. For some reason, I thought you were tall.
This is it. When I used to dance, I danced tall, I danced big, I dance like I can take over the room, but I'm a very small person.
It's your energy. Like, your energy is like, big. Yeah.
It's very all over the place. I love it for me though.
Well, for you, but I mean, your height is perfect. It's perfect height for a woman. So
I know, I love it. Okay, so you found out that you have a short cervix, and did that make you a bit daunted again? Obviously, coming from the miscarriage, were you now a bit concerned when you heard that? Like, oh my God, is this another issue? And how did you emotionally kind of like get yourself out of that if you did ever go through that?
So I just, at that point, I mean, after the miscarriage and, I got pregnant again, I just kept telling God, like, God, just show me how good it gets. And I just removed myself from the situation and said, okay, this is my story. And I'm just watching the story happen. But this baby is going to come and I know God is going to do it. And everything's going to go fine. I'm going to have a healthy baby.
Yeah.
At that point in time, I didn't even care about gender or anything. I just wanted a healthy baby. By the time they told me that, I had a short cervix, obviously went online, did my Googles again.
Yeah, on Google.
Search and
Yeah, Google.
But it comforted me because I didn't want to panic, but I was panicking. And I didn't want to visibly panic because my husband was visibly panicking and he was very worried, as it should be. But I didn't want to be worried and then my blood pressure would go up and it would, just create another world of situations again. So I went online and, I just Googled like, okay, what is this? What is short cervix? What is all this English that they're speaking? And I just found like a Reddit thread of women that had the exact same situation, and I read every single woman's entry about how they navigated it and what they did to have a full-term baby. Some of them had like babies early, like 26 weeks, 32 weeks, etc. Some people had babies at like 39 weeks. Some people, their babies did not make it. So I read every single entry and it was so helpful because it wasn't just about reading the articles at that point. It was reading real people's experience. So I'm always excited for women to share more about their birthing experiences, their pregnancy experiences, because there's always something to learn for somebody else. So when I read that Reddit thread from beginning to end, I was like, I know what to do, don't worry. I literally only got up to go to the bathroom and to get something to eat.
Girl said, I'm sitting.
Like, I'll lay down. In fact, in the hospital, they were like, oh, you have to lay elevated. There's a way you lay down. So I had this special pillow. I took one of the cushions from the living room, massive one. I put it under myself. So my pregnancy wasn't resting on my cervix. It was always elevated. And these are like one of several things that I was just doing to make sure that, the baby wasn't putting pressure on the cervix. Like cervix was already like really tiny. And also, yeah, when they told me I had a short cervix, they had to suture it. Yeah, I had to have like a mini surgery. It was like 30 minutes. Put you on there very quickly, stitch it up and...
Wait, let me understand. They stitched up your cooch.
Not the cooch. Oh my God.
Me, I'm learning,
like
guys.
The cervix, like the womb, like
the womb
the
inside.
The womb inside. Yeah, I wasn't awake. They were like, "Oh, do you want to stay awake?" I'm like, "Watch what?"
Please don't make me pee. I'm pregnant.
I'm so sorry. Oh my God, I completely forgot about that. I'm so sorry.
Oh my.
I'm like, watch what? They're like, oh, some people like to stay awake. Stay awake for what?
To be experiencing what? Oh my goodness. No, that was scary. Wow.
Honestly, it was a lot, but made it through.
Wow, you really did. Like that's just such a, these are things that, I hope, I don't know if you desire to have more kids, but if you do end up having a daughter, that you will share these stories. Because I feel like our parents never really go into detail, like into their own experiences. And I wish they did, because I think it will really help us like feel more confident going into motherhood, because I didn't feel confident at all going into it. I was just more like, well, this is what happens. You become a mum and you roll with the punches, and there were just so many new things that I had to learn on my own, and which is what inspired the Good Mother, because I said, I'm tired of learning it on my own. Let's at least let our generation
let there be a repertoire of knowledge.
Do you understand?
Yeah, I love it. And this is amazing what you're doing. Thank you so much for this, because when I was going through it, I was like, oh, I had to tell my story one day about everything I went through with the miscarriage, with the short cervix, with the suturing, everything. And then, eventually having a full-term healthy baby. Yeah, I was like, more than share, but I was like, one day I sat down and recorded the video. When I read 10 minutes, I was like, oh, this thing is a lot. I was like, so yeah, Zini, I'm so grateful to you that you are creating this platform for people to share these kind of stories, because women need to know. And with women's health, there isn't enough research.
Mm-hmm.
That's another thing I realized when I was pregnant, because I'm still doing guesswork as to why I have a short cervix. And I'm speaking to, my cousin that also had a short cervix, and my friend that had a short cervix as well. And I'm like, why? What are the similarities? Why does this situation arise for us? Do you
Did you end up
understand?
having a natural birth or cesarean following?
Yeah, my dad, I didn't want any more surprises. I don't want to say, oh, one thing.
She said, cut me up.
Enough.
Cut me up.
Cut me up. Cut me up. You know
Please.
something? At first I was like, I'm gonna have a natural birth. I was getting into it. But I mean, thank God for, the resources that NHS does have. So giving them their kudos now. So they had like a class, a class that you had to go to before you decide what your birth plan is. And I went for that class. It was online, and I was just listening to the midwife. So I asked a very important question. I was like, so I read the manual you sent, and I said something episiotomy. So what is the guarantee that I don't have an episiotomy? They were like, oh, there's no guarantee. I'm like, thank you so much for this information. I like to know where you are going to cut me. I don't want to leave it to probability, because episiotomy, for anyone that doesn't know, please Google it. I don't know if I'm saying it right, but it's literally your baby is coming out, and if they feel like the baby's not coming out well, they'll carry scissors and snip the JJ. And I'm like, yeah, cut me where I can see. Don't cut me where I can't see. Honestly, I was like,
You
no.
learn something new. This is my first time of ever hearing such a something. This is
Are you
a something,
joking?
because what is this? What?
Did you push with your first child?
Because I'm who? Who am I? Who am
Hebrew
I?
woman, well done.
Who am I
Count
to
me
be
out.
pushing? Do you know what? I still had the same feeling. I thought I was going to do. In fact, I even went as far as thinking I was going to do water bath. This is me.
Oh, bless you.
From the, I even had gospel music playing on the side. I had
Mother in Israel.
lights in the room. As a creative now, everything was very much production. Until I started pushing in that water. I said, I need to come out of this water first. I need to come out of the water. I tried the boat. I tried the bed. I said, nah. This is not working. This is not working at all. And then they're like, yeah, your is either my temperature was going up or baby's temperature was going down. But they were like, yeah, no, you need to go to labor. You can't do a natural bath. But they were like, oh, that you should we want to induce you. I said, you see that word induce? I'm not a part of it, because I watched my sister get induced. And the character she became. And I say,
oh my God,
because I didn't recognize who my sister was.
Jesus.
She I was here rubbing her back like a nice sister. She said, rub it lower. I said,
oh my God.
Who are you? Who are you?
Oh my God.
Oh yeah, so that already told me. And then after all of that, she still had to have a cesarean. Girl, I said, as soon as they said induce, I said, please.
Count me out.
Just count me out and cut me up. Because I'm not made for this life. I'm not made for this life. Honestly, it's just been it's such an interesting world, pregnancy, and I'm so excited. Okay, so before we go, I need you to give me your stop doing that pet peeve. Yeah, this is the part of the show where you mums bring what is annoying you, from aunties and uncles to the public, that what they should stop doing. Stop doing that. That's what we're calling it.
You know what? I'm gonna start right with the birthing thing.
Okay.
Stop telling me that, oh yeah, she had a baby but it was C-section. What do you mean but?
How dare they?
Like, the way they downplay because, oh, you had a C-section and you didn't pushing is the real childbirth. What is the baby a fake baby? Like, is this a doll? Like, you gave birth. Yes, it's like just because it wasn't like natural doesn't mean that it's any less.
And
Like,
secondly, has anyone talked about the healing of cesarean? Do you think it's beans?
it's actually harder.
The what? At least when you people do vaginal birth, you can just up and go. Some of you, at least, if you didn't
Yeah,
get the
literally.
4-degree tear. Do you know about the 4-degree tear?
Please. That's one of the reasons why I was like, C-section for me, because when they kept talking about all the things that could happen when you push, like it just sounded like anything can happen. And I was like, I've already been through a lot. I don't want to go through a lot again and find out something. Because I remember like in the hospital, the lady next to me in the ward, she had like a 4-degree tear and her baby was so small. She had episiotomy, they stitched her. I'm like, girl, it's it's too much. It's too much. Like it's too much. So much happening that is gonna take away from the joy of like, okay, you actually have a baby now. It's too. I can't calm me out. So one pet peeve is people downplaying like C-sections against like natural childbirth. Downplaying people that are giving their baby formula versus people that are breastfeeding all through. Like no mother is less than the other. You've already done the work. You've been a vessel to bring a child to the world, which itself is a miracle. So nobody should come and downplay how you did it or how you are doing it.
Well, thank you for bringing that to stop doing that. So people should stop comparing, please. I beg.
Thank you.
We've had enough. We gave birth.
Yes.
There's a kneecap in our belly that came out with a heartbeat.
Honestly.
Please. Oh, thank you so much, Tolani, for joining us. Finally, we have 2 more things to talk about. Support a mom. Is there any brands, any females that you want to support that are doing anything to do with motherhood, or even yourself, anything going on for you that you want to spotlight for us today so we can give them a shout out?
Yeah, so I want to spotlight Sanitary Aid for Nigerian Girls. Sanitary Aid for Nigerian Girls is it's a non-governmental organization. It's a charity that focuses on providing sanitary products for girls and women that are affected by period poverty in Nigeria. I am on the board of the charity.
Lovely.
But we rely heavily on donations from the public to fund this. So what we do essentially is we go to public schools in places in Nigeria where girls cannot afford pads for their periods. I know it doesn't sound like the fancy charity stuff, but this is the reality. And if I get into the nitty-gritty of what we've seen in the past 7 years that the organization has been existing,
tell us.
Yeah, we've been to villages where girls were using banana leaves for their periods. Yeah. So period poverty is what it means. It means girls are affected by poverty to the extent that they can't afford proper sanitary products for their periods. And it doesn't just affect only school girls like in public school. It affects, Nigerian women that are displaced by the insurgency in northern Nigeria as well. So we try to reach all these places, IDP camps, public schools across the country with free products that they can use for a long period of time, and also educate them how to take care of themselves in like while they're doing their periods as well. It's a lot of work, but somebody has to do it.
Wow, that's incredible. That's incredible. Yeah. That's fantastic. Yeah, we'll put all that link down below. So make sure you go support and donate and support this initiative. I think it's fantastic. And then finally, to close with Miss Tolani Thomas herself. Are you ready? Finish the sentence. A good mother is
a mother that does her best. A mother that does her best is a good mother.
Fantastic. Well, thank you for joining us. I hope you've had a good time. I hope you've had a bit of a therapy moment here. Like...
Honestly, it was I thought I was going to cry when I was talking about my miscarriage because it was so dramatic. And I kind of just shut down for some time and then just went back to work. But it's been cathartic to process it like on the podcast here. So thank you for this. It was good to just express it in a I don't want to say non-emotional way, but just look at it and say, oh, this is my story, this happened, and I survived this.
Yeah.
And I hope it helps somebody out there. Yeah. Thank you for this, Ezinne.
No,
this
you're welcome.
Lovely.
Yeah.
And also big thank you to my boy Jimmy for cooperating and not crying throughout this session.
Listen, Jimmy, we love you.
Jimmy, we love you. And Ethan as well.
Oh,
I don't know where Ethan is, but
Ethan is in school.
thank you for
think I will do
cooperating.
this with Ethan? Nah. Me, I've learned my lesson in life. I said I tried that one session. You see him here? Nah. I said the only days I do this is when he's at school and I can actually have time to really pour into my guests because, today all these sessions really about you guys and what being a mother has done for you and is doing to you. And we'll definitely catch up in a couple of months' time and see how you're doing as well, because it's always moving, always changing, always updating. So we'll see if he's still on the pap life or if he's decided to enter Pounded Jam life.
If he's decided to move to the Amala life.
Yes. All right, my love, have a lovely day and we'll see you on the other side. If today's conversation resonated with a change you are living through, consider sharing it with someone who may recognize themselves in it. You can follow the show wherever you get your podcast as we continue building an archive of honest, culturally rooted stories about identity, body, and becoming. I'm Ezinne. See you in the next episode.